Back in the day, that would be like last century, in the 1990s, there was this new internet social network called Classmates.com. You may remember that. It was a fun way to catch up with folks from your old high school. Fun, that is, until you actually did, and then you realized there was a reason that you lost touch with them in the first place. The novelty wore off pretty quickly. But in the last few years, there has been an explosion of social networking sites, with Facebook leading the way. In fact, the movie The Social Network was recently released describing the Facebook phenomenon. If you aren't on Facebook today, you sure can feel like you're out of the information loop. Now I'm still trying to figure out if Facebook is a force for good or for bad in my life. How about you? To be sure, it has been some fun joining a group like Fellowship Farm, where I attended kindergarten through 4th grade, and reminisce with other first-grade survivors of Mrs. Long's class about how she'd dig her long fingernails into your arms as she shook you, glaring all the while with her bulging bug eyes. But once you've shared such fond memories, what else is there left to say? I don't play Farm Swill, or Mafia S'mores, or any of those other silly games designed to waste your time online. And yes, I know that those aren't the real names, but silly games deserve silly names. I used to get in enough trouble when there was just plain old email. Anyone remember that? Have you ever had your email misinterpreted or written an email that you wished later you really could have taken back? I have an email rule. If I'm emotional about the topic about which I'm writing, I like to sit on the email for a day or two until I can look at it rationally. Most of the time, I end up just deleting the email before ever sending it, and it saves me and the unlucky would-be recipient much heartache. I guess for me, that's one of the drawbacks about social networks like Facebook. People feel free to express things they might only have kept to themselves in the past. Instead, now we think we should express every single thought nearly instantaneously. I'm typing my bulletin article now. I just hit the backspace for the 15th time because I type like a spaz. Does anyone really care? Not to mention that we don't seem to take the time to decide if we should be saying something or not. Something for the whole world to see. Or maybe just our so-called friends. Some things are really meant to be kept to yourself. Now the friend list, that's a whole nother matter in itself. It's sort of like high school all over again, isn't it? You kind of feel sorry for someone who only has 10 Facebook friends, and you think the person with 1,000 must be really cool for so many people to want to be his or her friend. So here's a challenge for all you Christian Facebookers. Cut and paste the following scripture above your favorite computer from which you access your Facebook account and read it each time before you ever post a single thing. It's this scripture, Ephesians 4 and verse 29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only that which is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. If you want to go one step further, I dare you to include the next 3 verses as well. From the heart to the Facebook.